Uganda is a landlocked country located in East Africa. It is referred to as the Pearl of Africa because of its unique climate and physical features. In this video we are going to look at the unique facts about Uganda. Remember to subscribe to this channel for more facts about countries. Number 1. The Baha'i Temple. The Baha'i Temple is open to people of all faiths and religions. Visitors are welcome to meditate, pray or simply admire the peaceful surroundings. The temple is also a popular destination for tourists, who come to marvel at its unique architecture and serene atmosphere. There is only one Baha'i temple in every continent, and the one in Africa is found in Uganda where it was built on top of a hill in the Kanyanya north of the Kampala city center. This temple can be seen from all the neighborhoods surrounding this panoramic hill. Apart from the Ugandan Baha'i Temple, there is Lotus Temple in Delhi, India, Baha'i Temple of South America in Santiago, Chile, and the Baha'i House of Worship in Wilmette, Illinois, USA. Apart from the Lotus Temple in Delhi, there are also other Baha'i temples around the world, such as the Baha'i Temple of South America in Santiago, Chile, and the Baha'i House of Worship in Wilmette, Illinois, USA. The Gaddafi National Mosque, also known as the Uganda National Mosque, is a prominent Islamic mosque located in Kampala, Uganda. It is one of the largest mosques in Africa and can accommodate up to 15,000 worshippers. The mosque's construction was started in the 1970s by Field Marshal Idi Amin Dada, but he was overthrown before completing it in 1979. Construction resumed in 2003 with sponsorship from Amin's friend Muammar Gaddafi of Libya and was completed in 2007. The mosque features a dome and minarets, and is designed in a modern Islamic style. The mosque is an important religious and cultural landmark in Uganda, and is open to visitors of all faiths. Non-Muslim visitors are required to dress modestly and remove their shoes before entering the mosque. The mosque is also an important center for Islamic education and research. It houses a library, a conference hall, and a school for religious studies. The mosque's central location in Kampala makes it easily accessible to both locals and tourists, and it is a must-visit destination for anyone interested in Islamic culture and architecture. Yes, the equator passes through Uganda. Specifically, it passes through a small town called Kayabwe, near Masaka town, which is located approximately 72 kilometers south of the capital city, Kampala. At the equator in Kayabwe, there are various tourist attractions, such as the Equator Monument and the Equator Marker, which indicate the location of the equator. There are also demonstrations that showcase some interesting phenomena that occur at the equator, such as the Coriolis effect, which affects the rotation of water and drains in different hemispheres. Although the equator crosses 13 other countries of the world, which include Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, São Tomé e Príncipe, Congo, Somalia, Gabon, Congo DR, Kenya, Maldives, Kiribati, and Indonesia, none has a more iconic landmark like the one in Uganda. The icon may make one believe that the equator only crosses Uganda. Consequently, millions of visitors, both local and foreign, the cross point in Masaka district and Kasizi district area to take memorable pictures in that area. Visiting the equator in Uganda can be a fun and educational experience, as you can learn about geography, science, and culture, as well as take memorable photos of being in two hemispheres at once. Next time you visit Uganda, do not miss the chance of putting one leg in the southern hemisphere and another leg in the northern hemisphere, especially when the sun is overhead at the equator on 21st March and 21st September every year. Yes, the equator passes through Uganda. Specifically, it passes through a small town called Kayabwe, near Masaka town, which is located approximately 72 kilometers south of the capital city, Kampala. At the equator in Kayabwe, there are various tourist attractions, such as the Equator Monument and the Equator Marker, which indicate the location of the equator. There are also demonstrations that showcase some interesting phenomena that occur at the equator, such as the Coriolis effect, which affects the rotation of water and drains in different hemispheres. Although the equator crosses 13 other countries of the world, which include Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, São Tomé e Príncipe, Congo, Somalia, Gabon, Congo DR, Kenya, Maldives, Kiribati, and Indonesia, none has a more iconic landmark like the one in Uganda. The icon may make one believe that the equator only crosses Uganda. Consequently, millions of visitors, both local and foreign, the cross point in Masaka district and Kasizi district area to take memorable pictures in that area. Unique fact number 4 about Uganda. Uganda is the home of the Rolex. If you ask a non-Ugandan about a Rolex, their answer will be like, "I'm not entirely sure what you mean by Rolex omelette." If you're referring to a type of omelette that is made by the luxury watch brand Rolex, then I'm not aware of such a thing. Rolex is a Swiss watch manufacturer, and they don't have any involvement in the culinary industry as far as I know. On the other hand, if you're referring to a type of omelette that is popular in Uganda, which is sometimes called a Rolex omelette, then that's a different story. To cut the conversation short, a Rolex omelette is a popular street food in Uganda, made by rolling an omelette with vegetables and sometimes meat or other fillings inside a chapati, a type of flatbread that originated from India. It's a quick, filling and tasty meal that's often eaten for breakfast or as a snack. The chapati is made by kneading wheat flour and making small round flour balls that are later flattened on a hard surface with a roller wood to appear like the Mexican tortilla. The tortilla, like chapati, is fried on a hot frying pan with a sprinkle of cooking oil. Thereafter, the main ingredient of the Rolex, which is the chicken egg, is placed in a plastic cup. Then condiments like tomatoes, diced onions, green pepper are added and mixed together, then fried on the hot flat frying pan, then rolled in a chapati, and the Rolex is ready for serving. Some unique Rolexes are made by adding already cooked beef, liver, cabbages. Unique fact number 5 about Uganda. It is the only country in the world where green plantain bananas are mashed and eaten as food, accompanied by various types of soups or sauce. Green plantain bananas are a type of banana that are harvested before they are fully ripe. They are often used in cooking various cuisines in Uganda. Green plantain bananas are firmer and less sweet than ripe bananas, and they have a starchy, potato-like texture. The bananas were introduced by the Portuguese, but this can be contested because the people in central Uganda established a strong kingdom of Buganda around AD 1200. Before Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese sailor, reached Mombasa port in 1497. Plantains can be used in a variety of dishes, from savory to sweet. In Uganda, they are boiled and served as a side dish, or mashed and formed into small cakes or balls. Green plantain bananas are a good source of fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and they are also lower in sugar than ripe bananas. They are a versatile and nutritious ingredient that can add texture and flavor to a variety of dishes. There are hundreds of varieties of plantain bananas in Africa and Latin America, but the Ugandan variety, commonly called matoke, is quite unique. The most common methods of cooking matoke are boiling, steaming, or roasting. Once they are cooked, the flesh turns yellow and should soften to about the same consistency as potatoes. They will, however, still hold their form. If green matoke are left for too long, they will ripen as ordinary bananas would. When ripe, they are very sweet and can be eaten as normal fruit, but a traditional matoke eater would trash them. Due to their high price, this is considered a waste because matoke is most loved as green cooking bananas and are somewhat of a luxury. The bananas in Uganda are peeled, then wrapped in banana leaves, then placed in a saucepan with the banana stalks placed underneath so that the plantains can be steamed with a good aroma. Sometimes the green plantains are just boiled directly in a saucepan and mixed with beans, peas, ground nuts, or even meat to prepare a meal that is locally referred to as cattle go. Ugandans are obsessed with matoke, and those abroad make sure they import the green plantain bananas to the countries where they live. Imported matoke from Uganda is on high demand for Ugandans living in United Arab Emirates and the UK. However, those in the United States can import green plantains from Uganda due to import restrictions and the long distance from Uganda, but they alternatively consume alternative green plantain varieties from Hawaii and Ecuador, but they are not as tasty as the original matoke from Uganda. The young banana leaves, commonly called lukewarm ball, can be used to stew some delicious sauce such as ground nut sauce, meat stew, chicken stew, and during traditional marriage ceremonies there is a special lukewarm ball with some love portion prepared for the bridegroom by the singer. Unique fact number 6 about Uganda, the source of the River Nile. The River Nile is the longest river in the world, flowing through 11 countries in northeastern Africa. It has a total length of approximately 6,650 kilometers, 4,130 miles, and drains an area of about 3.3 million square kilometers, 1.3 million square miles. The river has two main tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile, which meet in Khartoum, the capital of Sudan. The White Nile is the longer of the two tributaries and originates in Lake Victoria, which is located in Uganda. The Blue Nile, on the other hand, originates in the Ethiopian highlands and is the source of most of the water and sediment that flows into the Nile. The Nile flows northward through Sudan and Egypt before emptying into the Mediterranean Sea. John Speke, the English explorer, trekked through the jungles in 1862, and he was the first white man to see the source of the Nile from Lake Victoria in Jinja, Uganda. The Nile has played a significant role in the history, culture, and economy of the countries through which it flows. In ancient times, it was the lifeblood of the Egyptian civilization, providing water and fertile soil for agriculture. Today, the river remains an important source of irrigation and hydroelectric power, and it is also a popular destination for tourism and recreation. However, the Nile is also facing various challenges, including pollution, overuse, and climate change, which threaten its sustainability and the livelihoods of the people who depend on it. Unique fact number 7 about Uganda. Uganda is the smallest country with a large concentration of Great Lakes. The lakes include Lake Victoria, Lake Kyoga, Lake Albert, Lake Edward, Lake George, Lake Wamala, Lake Bunyonyi, Lake Kwenya, Lake Kotwe, as well as 10 other small lakes. Uganda has the privilege of having a share of the largest freshwater lakes in Africa. Lake Victoria is the largest of the Great Lakes of East Africa, and is shared by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. It is the second largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area and the largest by volume. The lake is a major source of fish and is an important transportation route for the surrounding countries. Hazel lakes are also important sources of freshwater and are home to a variety of aquatic species. The Great Lakes of East Africa play an important role in the economy and culture of the region, and are also valuable for scientific research and conservation. Unique fact number 8. Uganda is a member of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation even though the majority population is not Muslim. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, is an international organization composed of 57 member states from around the world that have a predominantly Muslim population. The organization was established in 1969 and is headquartered in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Uganda was admitted to the OIC during the regime of Field Marshal Idi Amin Dada. When the Saudi Arabian king, Faisal, visited Uganda, Amin ordered Ugandans to dress up like Muslims and stand by the roadside from the airport to welcome the king. The king was convinced that Uganda is a predominantly Islamic country even though Muslims account for 13% of all the religions. The OIC's objectives include promoting Islamic solidarity among member states, safeguarding and protecting the rights and interests of the Muslim world, and promoting peace, security, and stability among member states. The organization also seeks to coordinate and unify the efforts of member states in economic, social, and cultural fields. The OIC is involved in a wide range of activities and initiatives, including promoting economic cooperation among member states, providing humanitarian assistance to member states in need, and advocating for the rights of Muslims in non-member states. The organization also works to combat Islamophobia and promote interfaith dialogue and understanding between different religions and cultures. While the OIC has been successful in achieving some of its objectives, it has also faced criticism for its limited effectiveness in addressing the challenges facing the Muslim world. The organization is urged to take a more assertive role in addressing issues such as poverty, human rights abuses, and political instability in member states. Edible grasshoppers are a popular delicacy in Uganda, and are consumed by many people in different parts of the country. Grasshoppers, which are locally known as nzenin in the Luganda language or okian in Lua language, are usually harvested during the rainy season in November every year when they are abundant and easy to catch. The practice of eating grasshoppers is deeply rooted in Ugandan culture and has been a traditional food for generations, as evidenced by local name for November, Amwetsio muzinine. The grasshoppers are typically caught using nets or by hand, and are then sorted by plucking off their wings and legs and prepared for consumption. Grasshoppers are a good source of protein and other nutrients, and are considered a healthy and sustainable food source. They are often prepared by frying in oil and seasoned with salt or other spices like onions, green pepper. In some parts of Uganda, they are also eaten boiled. Grasshoppers are also an important source of income for many people in Uganda, as they are sold in local markets and exported to neighboring countries. The harvesting and sale of grasshoppers provides livelihoods for many people, particularly in rural areas. However, the consumption of grasshoppers is not without challenges. The overharvesting of grasshoppers can lead to a decline in their populations, which can have negative impacts on local ecosystems. In addition, there are concerns about the hygiene and safety of grasshoppers sold in markets, as they are often not properly stored or processed. Nonetheless, grasshoppers remain a popular and important food source in Uganda, and continue to play an important role in the country's cultural, political and economic life. Unique fact number 9. Uganda is one of the few republics with kingdoms within. Uganda has a rich history of traditional kingdoms and chiefdoms, which played an important role in the political and cultural life of the country before the colonial era. The colonialists preserved the kingdoms when they governed Uganda not as a colony but as a British protectorate. The kingdoms of Uganda were semi-autonomous entities with their own systems of government, culture, and traditions. After independence, Obote abolished the kingdoms, but they were restored by Museveni after 1993 except the Angkor Kingdom. Some of the major kingdoms and chiefdoms of Uganda include: the Buganda Kingdom is one of the oldest and most powerful traditional kingdoms in Uganda. It is located in the central region of Uganda and is predominantly composed of the Baganda people. The Buganda Kingdom has a Kabaka as the head of state. The Bunyoro Kaitara Kingdom is located in the western region of Uganda, and is primarily composed of the Banyoro people. The kingdom has a complex system of government, with the Omukama, king, as the head of state. Toro Kingdom. The Toro Kingdom is located in the western region of Uganda and is primarily composed of the Batoro people. The kingdom has a hierarchical system of government, with the Omukama as the head of state. The Busoga Kingdom is located in the eastern region of Uganda. The Kyabasanga is the head of state. There are also other chiefdoms in Uganda such as Mrima of Teso, Kamwazwaga of Kaki, the chief of the Acholi people. These traditional kingdoms and chiefdoms continue to play an important role in Ugandan society today, and are recognized by the government as cultural institutions. They promote tourism and preserve Uganda's rich cultural heritage. Unique fact number 10. Uganda is the home to the conqueror of British Empire. Yes, Field Marshal Idi Amin Dada claimed that he was the conqueror of British Empire. However, we do not know till this day how and when he actually conquered that empire. His encounters with the British include the day when he was lifted up while seated on a chair in a similar way the African servants used to lift their white masters seated on a fabric tied on a strong stick placed on their shoulders. It is alleged that while he was lifted up by the Britons, he declared himself the conqueror of the British Empire and he awarded a military honor of Victory Cross. Amin Dada also expelled the British citizens of Asian origin in 1972 basing on a dream he had had while visiting Moroto in the northeast of Uganda. The following day he came back to the capital city and declared the economic war of Uganda with a plan to redistribute wealth among the indigenous Ugandans. Unique fact number 11. Uganda has snow even though it's located in the tropics near the equator. How is that possible? Well, it is on Mountain Rwenzori where we find snow because it is a snow-capped mountain. A snow-capped mountain is a mountain peak that has snow or ice covering its summit or upper slopes. This typically occurs in colder climates where temperatures remain below freezing for much of the year. However, because Mountain Rwenzori is over 5,109 meters above sea level, the snow or ice on the mountain can take many forms, including powder snow, packed snow, and glacier ice. Snow-capped mountains can be a beautiful and awe-inspiring sight, attracting tourists and adventurers from around the world. The mountain range is a popular destination for trekkers and mountaineers, with several routes and trails available for varying levels of difficulty. However, due to its high altitude and challenging terrain, a trip to Mount Rwenzori requires careful planning and preparation. Unique fact number 12. Uganda is the home to a majestic bird called the crested crane. The crested crane, also known as the gray-crowned crane, is a bird species native to Uganda and some other African countries. It is a large bird, standing up to 1 meter, 3.3 feet, tall with a wingspan of over 2 meters, 6.6 feet, and it is characterized by a distinctive crown of stiff golden feathers on its head, which give it its name. The crested crane is typically found in wetlands and grasslands, and it feeds on a variety of foods, including insects, small reptiles, seeds, and grains. The bird is known for its distinctive mating dance, which involves the male and female cranes jumping and bowing to each other with outstretched wings. In Uganda, the crested crane is the national bird and is featured on the country's flag and coat of arms. However, despite its cultural significance, the species is listed as endangered due to habitat loss and poaching, and conservation efforts are underway to protect and preserve the remaining population. The crane also features on the Makerere University coat of arms. More still, the Uganda national football team is named the Cranes, and even the women's team is referred to as the She-Cranes. Unique fact number 12. Uganda is the home to a majestic bird called the crested crane. The crested crane, also known as the gray-crowned crane, is a bird species native to Uganda and some other African countries. It is a large bird, standing up to 1 meter, 3.3 feet, tall with a wingspan of over 2 meters, 6.6 feet, and it is characterized by a distinctive crown of stiff golden feathers on its head, which give it its name. The crested crane is typically found in wetlands and grasslands, and it feeds on a variety of foods, including insects, small reptiles, seeds, and grains. The bird is known for its distinctive mating dance, which involves the male and female cranes jumping and bowing to each other with outstretched wings. In Uganda, the crested crane is the national bird and is featured on the country's flag and coat of arms. However, despite its cultural significance, the species is listed as endangered due to habitat loss and poaching, and conservation efforts are underway to protect and preserve the remaining population.